was that with the same precision and thought, he worked and experimented on health all his life. He spent considerable time and effort thinking on health issues from early youth to South Africa and India. He in fact complained that our leaders do not pay enough attention to health. When Gokhale was very unwell and so on, he said, why you are not taking enough interest in health? Why you are not taking care of your health? Now you are suffering, and when you have become very useful to the nation, then suddenly your bodies become weak, and then you are not going to help the nation. He constantly experimented on health, food, and was extremely keen on public hygiene and totally meticulous on cleanliness. You see, this is another thing. We don't have to go too far. You see, when we are talking of health and management and so on, even if we begin with cleanliness, utter cleanliness, you see, then also many diseases can be taken care of. So the very important thing is that he was in contact with the best of the scientists and the authorities of his day. So you can also sit and listen if you like. Can you see? Okay. Alright. So you see, he was in contact with Jagdish Chandra Bose, one of the great scientists, and then Bose came to Bombay in 2417 to meet him, and Gandhi went to the inauguration of the Bose Institute. When Bose established his research institute, then he went to the inauguration, and then Sir C.V. Raman and Lady Raman came and discussed with him in 1936. So all this were on his Khadi development board. So he was in touch with the best minds of his time, and again lots of scientists of today, or even the planners and educators, do not know this. That Gandhi was not just a politician, he was not just Ramnam and Vaishnava Janto Tene Kahiye, he was not just that much, but he was in touch. And he established a postgraduate research institute also. So this institute he established, and then he wanted the research to go on various issues, you see, of his time. And with Prafulla Chandra Ray, he was in constant touch. When he established, again lots of people simply do not know this, when he established Gujarat Vidyapit, his own university, he invited nobody, no big industrialist, no big politician, no big British officer, but of all the people, he invited Prafulla Chandra Ray to come and deliver. And this picture I got researched and found from the Gujarat Vidyapit very old archives. Dr. Ray is giving the inaugural speech at the time when Gujarat Vidyapit was inaugurated. So you see, why of all the people Gandhi invited this person? He was a big politician at that time. I mean, much bigger than all those big names we are taking today in politics. He had already had a big reputation, but he invited Prafulla Chandra Ray to. Okay, I think just alert me on time. You see, was he aware of the amazing universe, the profound puzzles that amazing universe, and the profound puzzles that brings the future directions and the new perspective. You see, the big universe. How amazing is the big universe. Today, we are part of a big galaxy, something like this. Each of such galaxies is some 400 to 500 billions of the stars. And each of the stars, like our own sun, is one single star. And that, sun is, one small dot in one small corner of, this entire configuration over here. So it's smaller than a smallest of the dots in, in this picture. And there, there's this entire planetary system. The sun has 9 planets, or, the Earth is one of the planets, and in Earth, we have all these continents, and in all these continents, then, we have our great India, and of course the great Gujarat, whether be Gujarat or Gujarati Asmita, or whatever, and in Rajkot, in Hemugadvi Hall. We are all sitting. So, you see, how big we are or how small we are part of such a, major configuration which the universe is. This is another of such a galaxy, and the universe as we see it today, as we see it through instruments like this is the Hubble Space Telescope, floating out there in the sky. With the help of an instrument like this, we observe today millions of galaxies like this. So that is what the entire cosmos is. And now, Gandhi was making these statements are taken from the collected works again. This universe, which is millions of times vaster than the earth. And what are we in this mighty universe? We are less than, even a speck of dust. And what about the magnificent canopy of heavens? And I will not read all the quotations. If we carefully observe and examine the universe, we shall see that. Well, there are many quotations. You will see some of this in this booklet that I was telling you. But the final last quotation I will read. A man of word can as little comprehend the universe as a fish living in the ocean can fathom its depths. So we are like, I am less than a fish in the ocean when we talk of, ourselves in the universe. So this is the vastness, but the important point that I wanted to tell you was Gandhi had this particular conception. So he was looking at the universe in this vastness, and he said there is an orderliness in the universe, there is an unalterable law governing everything, and everything, every being that exists or lives, it is not a blind law. No blind law can govern the conduct of the living beings. So this was, the perspective the Gandhi had. This is one of the old European pictures, when we thought that Gandhi is, just like, what he told us just before a moment, and here, how much knowledge we had on the universe. This I told you. I also told you there are billions of the galaxies. I told you also about the telescope. I also mentioned the amazing universe that he was interested in and he worked into. This is what he told, in fact, on astrology. He said, I know nothing of the science of astrology, and I consider it to be a science if it is a science of doubtful value. To be severely left alone by those who have any faith in providence. That is, if you really have the faith, in the natural power that is governing the universe, then don't worry about astrology. This is what he said. And then I told you already about his dialogue with the Vaidyas. I already told you about his connections with the, scientists and philosophers. But then he was very interested in the biography of Madame Curie. He read the biography with greatest interest. On one sitting, he went through the entire book, and he said it should be translated in all languages. He had nice correspondence with Einstein. They discussed many issues. So I think basically what I am trying to tell you is that he had a holistic approach on the life, on the universe, and basically the health issues also. He watched, he observed, he talked about in a similar holistic spirit. Global approach to human health and well-being. Well, as for the today's healthcare system, what Gandhi would have said, perhaps he would have said, as I already told you, place the humanity first and money the last. So not to talk of some of the unfortunate instances that you observe in the medical fraternity, where the more money being charged, or we read many things you see of unethical behavior in the medical fraternity today also. So Gandhi would have, of course, you see, naturally disapproved of any of those kind of instances. He would have said, go back to nature, intervene only when inevitable, and then you see he had a very definite philosophy on how to attend to sickness. He would say, in sickness allow the body to heal itself. He always said that some 70% of the diseases in fact heal themselves. If you allow the body to heal itself, then some 70 to 80% of the diseases automatically heal themselves. Just give the body time. Just don't get impatient. As soon as the disease arrives, we usually get very impatient. Okay, so he always said that give time, fasting and resting, they are the best medicines to begin with. And then he was not against even the surgery if it was needed in certain cases. So, research and innovation. I was just talking to Sri Gunwan Shah just before coming over here, and I was telling him that I was going to be talking on these things. And then, as an ideal institution, he mentioned to me this Narayan Hridayalaya, I think somewhere in south, probably Bangalore, something. The practices that they follow and implement. His emphasis on nature cure is well known. You see, earth, water, air, light, space. Our human body is derived of these 5 elements. We are made of these elements, and they can do a great magic. He believed to heal the human body. But then eventually, you see, death was nothing for him. He had, courage. That was the important point. He wrote a letter, a remarkable letter to Kasturba, from jail. They were both in different jails. And in those, places, he said that if you pass away, in your cell in this manner, I would not mind. So the courage was the supreme thing, even in, ailment and disease. In fact, he said that death is no friend. It is the truest of the friends. It delivers us from agony. All right. To come towards the end of my, presentation, the surveys tell that in fact the Gandhians, lived quite long and healthy lives, free from disease and medicines by and large. By and large, he believed that this is an unnatural condition brought about by our own unhealthy ways of living and behavior. And if you follow correct set of principles and correct ways of life, by and large you will live a disease-free and healthy life. So, fearlessness, internal freedom, this offers you the best of the health. He was, in Hindu Swaraj very strongly against, the culture of, he said, more the hospitals, it actually means that the decay of the civilization rather than, the progress of the civilization. But as I said, he all the time always was open, and his scientific approach and discoveries, that also he always emphasized. Okay, I think I will just conclude with one suggestion. This particular word, you see, which is, hospitals. So I was very happy when I saw the organizer's name here, that is the Indian Healthcare Association. So one suggestion I would like to make and mention is that can we not use the word healthcare center, or rather health center. Maybe rather than a Jaslok hospital or Kokilaben hospital, Kokilaben Ambani, how about Jaslok Health Center or Kokilaben Ambani Health Center? Because we are really coming here to gain health, and that might include the intervention also. The name hospital actually scares many people. Many they say, oh, we have to go to hospital. And it is almost a shock. Alright, just to conclude, Gandhian perspective can do lot of good, help to our, ailing and suffering and the needy people. That is the message I wanted to give. We certainly need, the hospitals, we need doctors, we need machines, we need, scientific interventions, we need inventions, there is a lot of medical research, we need all of it. All the same, the Gandhian approach can be very crucial and very fundamental to help us, direct and orient. To give us a correct direction, it can be a greatest, help. So this is my last slide. The important point that I am, making here is not to see the health in isolation. Just not to see as a single, track, small thing that here is the patient and, we cure the patient. What is really needed is that we view the human being in the cosmic perspective, we view the health also in the cosmic perspective, and then that will help, our healthcare system much more. We are not denying anything, We are welcoming every good thing. And we are not, saying this is not good, this is not good. We are saying everything good is very good. We are saying that. But all the same, if we complement it, then in today's environment, this fear psychosis that we see, associated with the healthcare or healthcare system, that can be eliminated. That can be greatly helped, and that is where I think the Gandhian perspective has its greatest contribution. And the modern hospitals or the modern doctors or the modern healthcare systems, they can all, is only to be gained. There is nothing to be lost. If you don't believe, if you don't agree, don't take it. But even the smallest thing, if you agree, the smallest thing in all that I have said, you may disagree with everything that I say. But if the smallest thing, whatever I said was from, all the studies, if the smallest thing that if you liked and if you agreed, then, that can go a long way towards, helping our own way of doing and the healthcare system. In fact, in the Christian system, love is the primary factor, and that is why they are in the health and the attending of the sick and so on and so forth. So I think I need to good things from everywhere. In our own systems also, love is the primary thing. So, all right. Thank you very much for your very patient and kind hearing. I, said so many unconventional things probably, but you have been extremely patient. I am very grateful to you. Thank you very much.
What you know is nothing, and what you don't know is immense. I guess that applies to me, and maybe to many of you present over here. After listening to Dr. Pankaj Joshi's speech, to tell truly speaking, I was actually wondering what would you be speaking on the topic, because I was actually astonished about the topic. But I'm truly amazed after listening to your speech. Really, sir, thank you so much for merging the two different perspectives of thought into a single and absolutely new one. Thank you so much, sir.
I am again most thankful to all of you, to the organizers for getting me here, for giving me this opportunity to talk to and meet all of you. Thank you very much.
May I please request Ms. Nidhi to present a memento to Dr. Pankaj Joshi, please.